Right now, you might feel a knot in your chest when you think about your future. You're not alone. Have you ever wondered why you keep hitting the same walls, no matter how hard you push? Today, we'll explore a simple truth. Your life changes when you own your choices. We'll look at moments where blaming others fails, and we'll learn how to shift from feeling powerless to feeling in control. You'll hear real examples of people who stopped waiting for permission and started creating their own path. By the end, you'll have clear steps to replace excuses with action, to turn fear into fuel, and to build habits that support your dreams. Stick around, because this might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. I promise you will feel more confident and in control after this. Stay tuned. Watch. Ready to step into your power? Let's get started. Number 1, accept that your life is your full responsibility. You know, one of the most important days in your life is the day you wake up and say, I'm done waiting for someone else to fix this. That day when you stop pointing fingers, when you stop hoping someone will come along and rescue you, is the day your life starts to truly change. Not because everything gets easier, but because you finally take the driver's seat. And when you do that, you give yourself permission to grow, to learn, and to become something more. It's a tough truth, but the truth is, your life is entirely your responsibility. Not your parents, not your bosses, not the economies, not the governments, yours. Now I know that might sting a little, because we've all been through things we didn't ask for. Some of us grew up with hardship, with pain, with people who didn't treat us right. Some of us lost things. Some of us had to fight for every little bit we had. And when that's the case, it's easy to think, well, Jim, you don't know what I've been through. And maybe I don't. But I do know this. As long as you believe someone else is responsible for where you are, you give away your power to change it. Responsibility doesn't mean blame. It means ownership. It means you take the cards you've been dealt and decide you're going to play them to the best of your ability. It means you stop waiting for the right time or the right person or the right opportunity. Because the truth is, those things might never come, but you're already here and you've already got what it takes to begin. See, when you finally accept that your life is your responsibility, something shifts inside you. You begin to see that your decisions matter. Your choices count. Your habits add up. You start to understand that if you want better, you must become better. If you want to go further, you must grow stronger. If you want to change the results, you must change your actions. And nobody else can do that for you. I want you to think about this. If nothing changes in your life, if you keep thinking the same way, feeling the same way, doing the same things, where will you be 1 year from now? 5 years from now? 10? Now ask yourself this. What if you accepted full responsibility today? What if you said, from this moment forward, I am in charge of my direction? How would your life begin to change? Most people don't take responsibility because it's hard. It forces you to confront uncomfortable truths. It demands effort. It calls you out on your excuses. But on the other side of that struggle is something powerful, freedom. The kind of freedom that says, I don't have to be a victim of my past. I don't have to repeat the same story over and over again. I can break the cycle. I can become the kind of person I've always wanted to be. You see, personal responsibility is not a burden. It's a gift. It's the key that unlocks your potential. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for motivation and start creating discipline. You stop avoiding failure and start chasing growth. You stop blaming others and start building yourself. People often ask, Jim, where do I begin? And the answer is always the same. Begin with you. Begin by looking in the mirror and being honest. Ask yourself, what part of my life have I been avoiding responsibility for? Is it my health, my finances, my relationships, my career? And whatever the answer is, don't run from it. Own it. If your health isn't where it should be, take responsibility. You don't need a perfect diet or a perfect body. You need the courage to say, I'm going to start making better choices, one day at a time. If your finances are out of control, don't blame your job, your boss, or the economy. Sit down, make a plan, track your spending, learn about money. You have the power to turn things around. If your relationships are filled with stress or disconnection, don't wait for the other person to change. Take the lead. Be honest. Communicate. Show up. Be the example of the love, respect, and integrity you want to receive. Responsibility doesn't mean perfection. It means progress. It means you stop waiting and start doing. It means you stop complaining and start creating. Think about this. Everything in your life right now is a reflection of what you've tolerated, what you've accepted, and what you've chosen, consciously or unconsciously. And the beautiful thing is, if you created it, you can change it. You can rewire your thinking. You can shift your focus. You can replace your habits. You can decide that from today forward, you're not going to live a life of reaction. You're going to live a life of intention. It starts with one decision, one promise to yourself, that you will no longer blame anyone for where you are, that you will no longer wait for someone else to save you, that you will no longer make excuses. From this moment on, it's you. You're the one who's going to take the steps. You're the one who's going to rise above your circumstance. You're the one who's going to do what it takes, whether it's easy or not, whether it's comfortable or not. Because your future matters that much. You're not broken. You're not too late. You're not stuck. You're not behind. You're just one powerful choice away from a new direction. And when you make that choice, when you really commit, life starts to respond to you differently. Doors begin to open. Energy begins to shift, because the world makes way for the person who knows where they're going and takes responsibility for getting there. Don't waste another year, another month, another day waiting for something outside of you to change. The change begins with you. And when you step up, when you decide that your life, your happiness, your success, your growth, your healing, your future is your job, there's nothing you can't overcome. So today is not just another day. It's not just another video. It's your wake-up call. It's your moment of truth. Are you ready to stop settling and start leading your life? Because if you are, everything starts to shift, and you begin to experience the kind of life that doesn't just happen to you, but the life that you create. On your terms, by your choices, through your effort, one step at a time. Now is the time to rise. Now is the time to take full responsibility for your life. Because when you do, you'll never feel powerless again. Number 2, stop blaming others for your current situation. There comes a moment when the weight of blaming others for your life's troubles becomes heavier than the problems themselves. That moment, as uncomfortable as it may be, is the moment you have to face yourself and decide, am I going to keep giving my power away, or am I going to take it back? It's a hard truth. Blaming others feels easier because it's a way to avoid responsibility, but it keeps you trapped in the same place, spinning your wheels, feeling stuck and powerless. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones every day. Each stone is an excuse, a complaint, a reason why someone else is responsible for your situation. The more stones you add, the heavier the load, the harder it becomes to move forward. Blaming others might give you a moment of relief, a way to vent frustration, but it never lightens the burden. It only holds you down longer. Most people fall into this trap without realizing it's natural to want someone or something else to explain why life isn't going the way we want. Maybe it's your parents, your partner, your boss, the economy, or society. We tell ourselves, if only this person was different, if only circumstances were better, then I'd be happy. But the problem is not the person or the situation. The problem is in allowing yourself to believe you have no control. That mindset steals your future. Blaming others means you're giving away the very thing you need most, your power. When you say it's their fault, you stop looking for solutions. You stop asking what you can do differently. You stop growing, and deep down you know this is true. That's why the feeling of helplessness creeps in. That's why you wake up some mornings feeling defeated before you even begin. To break free from this cycle, the first step is brutal honesty. Look at your life and ask yourself, how much time have I spent blaming others for where I am? How many opportunities have I missed because I was waiting for someone else to change? How many dreams have slipped away while I was caught up in pointing fingers? This isn't about guilt or shame. It's about clarity and courage. Because once you see the truth, you can start to take action. The moment you stop blaming others is the moment you reclaim control. It's the moment you say, no more waiting, no more excuses. I am responsible for my life, and I will act accordingly. When you do this, you begin to shift your energy. Instead of being consumed by resentment or anger, you start focusing on what you can do. The choices you make become intentional. You look for solutions instead of problems. You ask yourself, what can I control? What steps can I take right now? And every small step you take builds momentum. I've seen it happen countless times. People stuck in toxic relationships, blaming their partners for their unhappiness. When they finally stopped blaming and started taking responsibility for their own emotions and decisions, everything changed. Or someone trapped in a dead-end job, blaming the boss or the company. The moment they took ownership of their skills and sought new opportunities, doors opened that they never thought possible. The power to change your life is inside you, waiting for you to reach for it. But you have to let go of the stories you tell yourself about why you can't. Those stories are chains that keep you from moving forward. And blaming others is the loudest voice in those stories. When you stop blaming, you also stop wasting your energy. Energy that can be used to build new skills, strengthen your mindset, improve your health, or nurture relationships that matter. Energy that can fuel your growth, your dreams, your happiness. This doesn't mean you ignore injustice or deny pain. It means you choose how to respond. You can feel hurt or wronged without letting those feelings control your future. You can acknowledge mistakes made by others and still decide that you will rise above them. Responsibility is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Blaming is the roadblock that keeps you stuck. The longer you stay stuck, the longer your dreams wait. The longer your potential goes unused. Think about someone you admire, someone who has achieved success, happiness, or peace. Do you think they got there by blaming others? No. They got there by owning their circumstances, their decisions, and their actions. By looking at challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. By refusing to let outside forces define their story. You have the same power. You have the same choice. And yes, it's not easy. Taking responsibility requires strength and resilience. It requires admitting when you're wrong and being willing to change. It means stepping out of the comfort zone of excuses into the sometimes uncomfortable zone of action. But nothing worth having comes without effort. Imagine how your life would feel if you woke up each day knowing you are the architect of your future, no longer a victim, but a creator. Imagine the freedom that comes with knowing your happiness doesn't depend on others, but on you. Imagine the confidence that grows when you realize every decision you make matters. When you stop blaming others, you also become a magnet for solutions. Your mind opens to possibilities instead of problems. You start noticing opportunities that were always there, but hidden behind the fog of complaints. You begin to build habits that align with your goals because you know they're your goals, not someone else's. This shift creates a ripple effect. Your relationships improve because you stop blaming and start communicating. Your work improves because you stop waiting for praise and start delivering excellence. Your health improves because you stop blaming genetics or circumstances and start making choices that support your body. Remember, blame is a story you tell yourself. It's a lie that feels true until you decide otherwise. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to carry that weight any longer. What will you choose today? Will you keep carrying the stones of blame, or will you set them down and walk light? Will you keep waiting for change to come from outside, or will you become the change you've been waiting for? The only thing standing between where you are now and where you want to be is your willingness to stop blaming others and start taking full ownership of your life. It's the one decision that changes everything. Take a deep breath and feel that power within you. It's always been there. Now it's time to use it. Your life, your responsibility, no more excuses, no more blame, just action, just growth, just you, becoming the person you were meant to be. This is your moment. Step into it. Number 3, take control of your thoughts and decisions daily. Every day you wake up, you are given a power more valuable than anything money can buy. The power to choose what you think and how you respond. Most people never realize this. They live their lives on autopilot, reacting to every emotion, every challenge, every setback, without realizing that their thoughts are steering the wheel. And because they don't take control of that wheel, life takes them places they never meant to go. If you want to live with purpose, peace, and power, you must take control of your thoughts and decisions every single day. The way you think determines how you feel. How you feel determines how you act. And how you act builds your reality. It's not just about being positive. It's about being conscious. It's about being intentional with your mind instead of allowing it to wander into worry, fear, self-doubt, and distraction. Every thought has weight. Some lift you up and some drag you down. You need to know which ones are serving you and which ones are silently destroying your confidence and your clarity. If you don't choose your thoughts, they'll be chosen for you by the news, by your past, by your surroundings, by your fear. And when you let that happen, you give your most powerful weapon away, your focus. You can't build a meaningful life if you're constantly thinking thoughts that tear you down. You can't feel peace if you keep revisiting pain. You can't grow if you're mentally stuck in doubt and worry. Taking control of your thoughts means waking up and deciding, I am not my past. I am not my mistakes. I am not what they said I was. I am not the fear that tried to stop me. You are what you choose to believe today, and belief begins with thought. If you want to change your life, you must start by changing your inner dialogue. You have to train your mind the same way you train your body. Feed it with strength. Push it to grow. Discipline it. Your brain will resist it at first. It will want comfort. It will look for the familiar pattern. But the life you want will not be found in comfort. It will be found in the moments when you redirect your mind toward discipline, truth, and clarity. Start your day with ownership. Before the world tells you who you are, remind yourself who you're becoming. Speak it, think it, feel it. What you focus on will expand. So focus on what empowers you. Focus on what drives you. Focus on the actions you can take today, not on the regrets of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow. Throughout the day, be aware of what you're thinking. Are your thoughts aligned with your values and goals, or are they playing old scripts that keep you stuck? If your thoughts are full of criticism, comparison, or fear, don't just accept them. Stop, pause, replace them. Say to yourself, this thought doesn't serve me. I choose a better one. That may sound simple, but it's powerful. Because the more you do it, the stronger your mental muscles become. Every decision you make is either moving you closer to your vision or pulling you further away from it. You don't just drift into a great life, you build it. And you build it with one decision at a time. The small ones matter. The decisions you make when no one's watching. The ones that shape your habits. The ones that define your integrity. The ones that create momentum or delay. You don't need to have all the answers today, but you do need to make the choice today to be in. When you feel distracted, ask yourself, is this thought helping me grow or holding me back? When you feel frustrated, ask, what decision can I make right now that reflects who I want to be, not how I feel in the moment? Growth happens in the space between stimulus and response. Someone says something rude to you. How do you respond? You feel tired and unmotivated. Do you act based on that feeling, or do you act based on your goals? That space, that moment of awareness, is where change begins. And it only becomes stronger the more you practice it. If you let your emotions run your decisions, you'll live a life ruled by chaos. But if you let your vision guide your choices, you'll live with direction, clarity, strength. That doesn't mean ignoring emotion. It means noticing them without letting them take control. It means using your mind like a compass, not a cage. The greatest leaders, the most successful individuals, the happiest people you know, none of them got there by accident. They trained themselves to think clearly and act intentionally. They mastered their mornings. They shaped their habits. They didn't wait to feel like it. They made decisions based on commitment, not emotion. And you can too. Imagine if you decided right now to be the one who takes charge, to stop letting your thoughts spiral into stress and instead refocus them on purpose, to stop postponing decisions and instead make the one in front of you count. Every time you make a decision with intention, you build trust with yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable of leading your life, not following, not drifting, leading. People don't fail because they aren't smart enough or talented enough. They fail because they give their power away, one thought, one decision at a time. You take that power back by making one new choice today, a better thought, a sharper focus, a clearer decision. Do not underestimate The compound power of your daily mental choices. One good thought may not change everything overnight. One wise decision might not fix everything today. But day after day, they build something unshakable. Your character, your discipline, your identity. And once your identity shifts, your entire life follows. Because the person who sees themselves as strong begins to act strong. The person who believes they are focused starts making focused decisions. The person who trains their mind for purpose begins to live with unstoppable momentum. So ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to be when no one is watching? What thoughts do you need to start feeding? What decisions do you need to start making? Your life is not random. It's the product of every choice you've made. And your future is the result of the choices you start making now. Take control of your thoughts. Don't let them run wild. Direct, train them, shape them. Make decisions that reflect your highest values, not your lowest moods. And when you feel overwhelmed, slow down and remember, all power begins in the mind. If you want to feel better, think better. If you want to live better, decide better. Your mind is your foundation. Build it strong. Build it wisely. Build it daily. Now take that power and use it. Your future is waiting. Number 4. Make intentional choices aligned with your goals. Your life doesn't change with big dreams. It changes with small, deliberate choices made every single day that align with those dreams. If your goals matter to you, then your decisions must reflect that truth. If they don't, your goals remain just words, empty, powerless, and unrealized. The difference between someone who reaches their vision and someone who stays stuck isn't luck, talent, or timing. It's intentionality. It's making the hard but necessary decisions that move you forward instead of the easy ones that hold you back. Most people don't end up in the wrong place all at once. They drift there. One unexamined choice at a time. A missed workout here. A wasted hour there. A compromise on values. Because it felt convenient. And before they know it, they're frustrated, off track, and wondering how they got there. But nothing just happens to you. Your life is a reflection of the choices you consistently make. That's the truth we often want to avoid, because it demands that we become more intentional. You can't live a focused life with unfocused decisions. You can't build a strong future by acting on momentary emotion. If you say your health is important, then every meal, every workout, every late night decision should reflect that. If you say you want financial freedom, then how you spend, save, and earn money has to match that goal. If you want deeper relationships, then your time and attention must be pointed in that direction. Being intentional means you stop living on reaction mode. You don't wait for life to push you into action. You lead yourself there. You don't do what feels good in the moment. You do what serves the bigger picture. That takes maturity. That takes patience. And most of all, it takes clarity. You can't make intentional choices if you're unclear about where you're going. So ask yourself, what do you really want from life? Not what others expect. Not what looks good on social media. What do you want to build? What are the goals that light a fire in your chest? What are the outcomes that would make you proud when you look back years from now? Once you define your goals, your decisions have a filter. That filter makes life simpler. Not easier, but clearer. Should you say yes to that project? Should you go out tonight or stay home and work? Should you scroll your phone for another hour or put in the reps toward your dream? When you have clarity, those questions don't overwhelm you. You know the answer because you've already decided who you want to be. People often say, I don't have time. But the truth is, you don't need more time. You need more intentionality. You're already making dozens of decisions each day. The question is, are they getting you closer or further from where you say you want to be? The most successful people in any field don't just work harder. They work with direction. They choose how they spend their energy. They protect their focus. They make decisions not based on how they feel in the moment, but based on what they want long term. And you can do the same. It starts by being brutally honest about your habits. Are your actions in line with your ambitions? Do your daily routines reflect the future you say you want? If not, that's not failure. That's your wake-up call. And you don't need to fix everything overnight. But you do need to begin acting like your goals matter. Because they do. Making intentional choices also means learning how to say no, and not just to bad things, but to good things that aren't aligned with your path. You can't do it all, and the more goals you chase, the more distractions you'll have to reject. That takes strength. That takes focus. But the reward is clarity and progress. Think about it. What if you started making decisions like your future depended on it? Because it does. What if you paused before each choice and asked, does this align with who I'm becoming? Imagine the power you'd feel knowing that every step you take is taking you somewhere meaningful. This isn't about being rigid or robotic. It's about being mindful. It's about recognizing that your time is limited, your energy is precious, and your life is too important to be lived passively. The more intentional you are, the less regret you'll have. Because regret doesn't come from failing. It comes from knowing you didn't try. Knowing you drifted through days without direction. Look around you. The people living with purpose and peace, they're not there by accident. They made hard decisions when it was easier to avoid them. They stayed focused when distractions called. They built routines that supported their vision. They didn't just wish for more. They worked toward more, with clear intention every single day. And yes, you'll be tempted. You'll be tempted to take shortcuts. You'll be tempted to put things off. You'll be tempted to settle for what's easy instead of what's right. That's why intentionality must be a daily practice. You don't decide once, you decide over and over again. Every morning, every moment, you recommit to your goals. Some days will be harder than others. Some decisions will stretch you. But every intentional choice you make is a vote for the person you're becoming. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, vision over impulse, purpose over pleasure, you grow stronger. You become more of who you were designed to be. Don't let another week go by making decisions on autopilot. Don't keep saying you want something while living in ways that contradict it. Align your actions, align your words, align your habits. The future doesn't respond to wishes. It responds to work. And the most powerful work you can do is to live each day with intention. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment. You don't need more motivation. You need to start making decisions that prove you're serious. Small ones, big ones, all of them count. Your choices shape your life. Make sure they reflect your purpose. Make sure they're built on values, not moods. Make sure they take you closer, not further from the version of yourself you know you're capable of becoming. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about waking up each day and saying, today I will choose what serves my goals. Today I will decide with clarity. Today I will not waste the opportunities in front of me. This is your life. Make it count. One decision at a time. Number 5. Own your mistakes and learn powerful lessons fast. You will never become the person you were meant to be by running from your mistakes. True strength begins the moment you stop hiding and start owning what went wrong. The most powerful breakthroughs in life don't come from getting everything right. They come from admitting when you didn't. Every failure, every poor decision, every time you fell short, it all becomes fuel when you choose to face it head on instead of pretending it never happened. The problem is, most people would rather protect their ego than build their future. If they make a mistake, and instead of learning, they defend, they blame, they cover it up, or hope time will make it disappear. But time doesn't erase what you don't confront, and hiding from your mistakes doesn't make you wise. It keeps you weak. The faster you can say I was wrong, the faster your life starts to shift. Because that sentence, simple as it sounds, is the gateway to growth, maturity, and massive transformation. It takes courage to admit you messed up. It takes humility to say, that was on me. But in that courage is where your power begins. See, people think that admitting a mistake is a sign of failure. It's not. It's a sign of awareness. It's a signal to yourself and the world that you are willing to rise. Not just in success, but in character. Ask yourself, what if you stopped trying to look perfect and started trying to get better? What if you stopped explaining away your mistakes and started mining them for the lessons that could change your life? That's where the real growth lives, in the raw, honest moments you'd rather avoid. The ones where you have to face the consequences, take responsibility and ask, what did I need to learn from this? Owning your mistakes doesn't make you less. It makes you more aware, more grounded, more capable. It puts your ego in the passenger seat and lets your wisdom take the wheel. Because life isn't about avoiding every misstep. It's about how quickly you adjust when you fall. Most people carry the same mistakes with them for years. Not because they have to, but because they never learned the lesson. They made a bad decision in a relationship and repeated the same pattern in the next one. They mishandled money and kept doing it until debt swallowed them. They made a poor choice in their health, ignored it, and it turned into a bigger problem. The pain doesn't come from the mistake. It comes from not learning fast enough. Do you want to build a life of progress? Then start asking better questions when you fall short. Ask yourself, what part of me allowed this? What mindset led to that decision? What belief needs to be challenged? What behavior needs to end now? When you stop making excuses and start being brutally honest, you start to move. And once you're in motion, you can't be stopped. We've all been there, said something we wish we hadn't, acted impulsively, ignored the warning signs. But the goal isn't perfection. The goal is correction. The faster you correct, the stronger you become. The people who rise the highest are not the ones who make the fewest mistakes. They're the ones who learn the fastest. Let me tell you something real. Mistakes are inevitable, but ignorance is optional. You don't have to stay in the same cycle. You don't have to carry guilt around like a weight. You don't have to let your past dictate your worth.